Our next guests are from Hebe Doc, and so my first question to Stu and Sally Roberts is, welcome to the program, and then what is Hebe Doc?
So in short, medical tourism, dental tourism. We designed a platform for Americans to make it easy for the 1 million Americans who are traveling every year to find affordable dental care.
Okay, and the origin of the name it's Greek?
Yes, I'm half Greek, and so Hebe was the goddess of youth. So we're trying to bring youth back to everyone, and she was the guardian of the fountain of youth, and we thought Hebe, and we have an elite network of dentists and doctors that we work with, so we called it Hebe Doc. We just thought it would be cute.
That's great. It's cute. Yeah, I mean, you get to tell that story every time because most people have no idea, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, how did you guys get into the business of kind of dental tourism, as I know it's been named these days?
You know, it really came from personal experiences. We have a number of stories, if you'll indulge me. Back in 2015, I went to see an endodontist for a botched root canal and was quoted $2,300. The endodontist did the work, and it didn't take. And he said, "You're going to have to pull the tooth." And I said, "Well, what are my other options?" He said, "Well, we can try it again." So we did it again. It still didn't take. And this time he was upset. And he said, "I told you we needed to pull the tooth, and you didn't. You need to pull the tooth." Still not satisfied. We looked around and did a lot of research online, and we found this little town across the border from Yuma, Arizona, Los Algodones, affectionately known as Molar City. And we did a lot of research on endodontists, made a couple trips, and met with this impressive endodontist who had this 30x scope, $50,000 piece of equipment, and he took a look at the tooth, and
Well, what I really liked about the process was, and Stu went to a dentist who graduated from UCLA Dental, so, very well-educated dentist, a leader in his field, leader in the town. But basically, we go to this dentist, and he does an x-ray, and he pulls it up on the big screen for both Stu and I to see, and he says, "This is what the dentist missed." And he said, and if you decide to move forward with the procedure, what I'll have to do is I'll have to open it up here, take this out, and then seal it back up. And he gave Stu a quote of $500.
Oh, wow.
So this was 10 years ago, and today I still have the tooth. So it was experiences like this, and finally in 2018, my father came to visit, and he had a quote from a dentist back in Ohio for $43,000 for a restoration of his upper arch. We were taken back by that number and reached out to a dentist friend here in Southern California, and the quote was $46,000. So again, we ended up going to Mexico and found an endodontist and an implantologist, and had the work done for $12,000.
That's an incredible difference.
This was 8 years ago.
Oh, wow. And how is it that the same procedures can be such a difference just by crossing the border? Is it because of our insurance policies and things like that?
No, you could. Well, I mean, it's overhead.
It's overhead. It's an
Okay.
issue. I mean, dentists here, do a great job, and the issue is education. The average dental school graduates with $308,000 in debt. This is average. Some are graduating with 400 plus. If you open your own practice, you're buying equipment, you could soon find yourself 7 figures in debt. If you owe that kind of money, what are you thinking about when you get up in the morning?
Okay.
It's how to pay
Patient
that
billing.
Right. Yeah. You think of patient billing and how you're going to recoup, and you're paying back all this debt, and also having to make a living. So I get that part.
Right.
So Sally, one of the things I think a lot of people might be saying to themselves is, I'm a little concerned. I mean, I'm traveling to Mexico. Is it safe? What's the process? Can kind of take me through. If someone decides this might be for them, they do a consultation with you, but then are they hopping in a van?
No, I mean, first we'll get their pictures or X-rays. If they have X-rays, that's ideal. But if they otherwise, just take pictures of your mouth, and then we send it to the clinic, and the clinic will give them an estimate, and the doctor can discuss it with them as well. So either basically we'll go over the quote, and maybe a couple different scenarios that they might want to approach. And then based on, they'll tweak that when they do arrive in person to get the 3D panoramic. But basically, they'll get a quote from the dentist just from the x-rays or the picture, and they'll be able to get an idea, and if they want to speak with the dentist or do a video consultation for free, that's also available.
Okay.
So, but then when they go to the town, we can bring them door to door.
Okay.
So we can bring them door to door, they get to the town, they're gonna show up, and it's gonna look like a 4 dirt road, tiny small town. And you're gonna think, what am I doing here? And then when you go to the clinic, from the outside, it might, it's going to be little streets in Mexico, right? But you go inside the clinic, and it's like you're in a Beverly Hills clinic. It's just TV screens and high-end equipment, and
welcome
in fact,
to Molar City.
Yeah, the endodontist Stu went to, he didn't mention it, but the scope that he had to do the surgery, which the dentist in the U.S. didn't buy, is $50,000. So they have the high-end equipment.
He had 2 of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they have all the equipment. They use Straumann implants, Noble BioCare implants, German and Swiss.
Top of the line.
They use top of the line products. They're very educated. And what I think is, so when you go inside, that's when you start getting the comfort level, and they speak English as well. So that's helpful. So you don't have to worry about that. But even better than, people usually start looking because of cost.
Right.
That's what brings, why else are you going to make the travel to Mexico, right? But the interesting thing that's a sleeper is that it's convenient. Because here in the U.S., to get a tooth extracted, your regular dentist at that visit, they'll say, you need to get an extraction. You have to go to this dentist. So then you have to go to set up a whole other slew of appointments to go to that dentist, to go back to your original dentist. If you need an implant, you got to make another appointment, go to another dentist. So here, all the specialists come to you. You go to the one clinic, and in that day, they've already prearranged that you're going to be able to see the specialist you need in that trip. So it's so much more convenient. So if you get an implant and you need a crown or something, then that's going to be a minimum of 2 trips, right? Because you're going to have to travel there, and it's only about 3-hour drive from, we're in San Diego area, but basically a 2.5 to 3 hour drive. But we'll take you there. You get there, and you might have to stay overnight, depending on how much work you're going to do in one sitting. But you get the implant, and then you'll have to wait 3 to 4 months for it to heal, and they'll give you a temporary crown. So you have it's very nice looking. We've had people that will wait a year or more to come back just because they already had that temporary. Oh, I don't need it.
That's fine for now.
I know, right? And then they come back and get the permanent on the next visit.
It's A to Z service.
Yeah. I was going to ask. I go to hebedoc.com and I take a look. You guys are the conduit. You vet these folks. You make the arrangements. I mean, how do you guys serve? What's the service that you really are proud of being able to supply and kind of assure people that go into you?
So back to our experience when we went through this. If you go down this road, there are so many things that need to be done in terms of you start your online research that goes on for a couple of weeks. You need to travel down this. We've done all that. We work with a very specific group.
Yes, you've done the vetting. You've done the research.
We know
you've
the
done
dentists.
These
We
things.
know the clinics.
Okay.
We're not trying to work with everybody. We work with a very select group that adheres to our standards, our warranty. All the implants are guaranteed, 3 to 5 year guarantee on all work. So we have very stringent criteria, and the dentists need to meet that.
It includes the dentist education, the dentist continuing education. Some of our dentists are educated at Harvard, and have done extensive continuing education to keep up. And some of them are even USDA certified. And one of the clinics we work with is even American owned. So it's quite interesting the extensive level of medical internationally that's available and how customer service oriented it is.
And the doctors are choosing to kind of go down to this area because it's become such a conduit industry down there? Or what are some of the choices that the doctors that could work in the United States are saying, I'm going to do this in Mexico instead?
So they're not U.S. doctors.
Okay.
The dentists and the surgeons are Mexican.
Okay.
But they travel for, as Sally mentioned, for continuing education.
Oh, okay,
So this is
gotcha.
the big thing. So in the U.S., continuing education is mandated. In Mexico, it's not. But the best-in-class dentists, the group that we work with, the elite serving the U.S. market, are doing this.
Okay.
So they'll go to Harvard Dental School or NYU Dental. They'll do symposiums. Singapore. They travel all over the world.
And we wanted to make sure that we were that our group includes people that we would send our family to. I mean, I've sent my mother, I've sent my brother,
My dad.
you know, his dad.
Friends.
Right.
It's like we want to make sure that it's people, like if we're sending somebody there, it's somebody that we would send our own family to.
And our clients aren't necessarily who you would expect. One in particular, Len from Beverly Hills, he runs 5 restaurants, has over 200 employees, just fed up with the cost of dental care. He travels down, and as well as, you know, a number of people like him.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, you know, just because maybe you have money doesn't mean you want to throw it away, right? I mean, people didn't get those positions by throwing away money.
Right, exactly. We can buy a car or go to Disneyland, right? You know, just...
The savings are substantial. On a full mouth restoration, we're saving clients somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000.
Wow.
And it's very important, these are the same implants, top of the line, Straumann from Germany, Noble Biocare, best in class anywhere in the world. It's just the overhead isn't as high.
We actually have a client who he and his wife are retired, and they bought an Airstream with their savings, and they're traveling around now with it. So
A lot of stories.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, exactly.
Testing out their dental work at restaurants across all the states.
Exactly.
All right, well, Stu and Sally from HebeDoc.com, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.